It's funny. When I planned on doing this training, this episode, I thought that I was going to be talking about how we had made 70K in 7 days, basically in a week, right? And had all the things planned out. And then during the weekend on Saturday, we got a message from somebody saying they were ready to enroll, ready to come in, paid in full already. And therefore, instead of this training being about how we made 70K in 7 days, I'm actually going to talk to you guys about how we made 88K in 7 days, which is kind of mind blowing to me that it happened, but it did. And I'm really excited about sharing with you guys the details of what happened, how it happened, what the deal is, all of the different things. So make sure you say hello in the comments so that I know that you're here watching me, listening, or watching the replay, listening to the replay, listening to this on the podcast, wherever you are right now. I am just really excited about sharing the details of everything that has gone down so that you can understand how we were able to make this happen, so that you can kind of follow along this journey, but also see if you can do something similar for your own business as well. So let's kind of get into it, because I think that there's a lot of different things that are going to be really important and interesting for you to hear in a very unique way of kind of what we focus on, because we did make 88K in a week without launching, without increasing ad spend, without basically changing anything. In fact, last week when we made this, basically I was not even sending emails that were promoting booking a call with me or promoting a lot of things around me because I was traveling. And instead I was doing an affiliate launch for somebody else. So that kind of gives you a little bit of perspective of what happened. And it's just really kind of impactful or incredible that it did, but also not really surprising at all, because this is kind of what we've been building in our business. So I want to walk you through some of the changes that we've made to make something like this happen. Honestly, I have to say that at the core of it, it really is all about messaging. And yes, this is what I do. This is what I teach, but I do it and I teach it for a reason. And this is 100% what I truly believe in and I understand to be incredibly important, because I've spent the last 2 years really mastering the ability or the skill to speak to the ready to invest type of people. So the people who are my perfect ideal audience. And when I think and I say that I'm talking to my perfect ideal audience, I mean the people that are actively looking for help in the area that I focus on, which is in my case, messaging, right? So the more that I have been able to speak to those people and really create a message and a marketing strategy and a content strategy that speaks to them, the more effective it becomes over time, obviously, as you can imagine, right? So what has happened is an accumulation of work, right? This isn't like a magic little strategy that I just came up with last week. And I hate to burst your bubble if you were like, ooh, what did she do last week? What's the trick? What's the secret? It isn't. This is an accumulation of processes and work and systems and optimization that lead to great results at the end of the day, right? So what we have really focused on is on developing something that I call my angle or your angle of mastery. Your angle of mastery is your expertise, that level that really takes what you do to a different level. It's funny because last weekend or this weekend, there was this massive launch from Alex Hormozi. You guys might have seen it, watched it. Everybody's talking about it, all the different things. And people think that all that's required for them to make sales or make more money is, well, let me give everything away for free. Let me give all this content. And I do really believe that giving a lot of value for free and a lot of content for free can be extremely valuable and really effective. However, it's not really about just giving value. It's about giving value that changes perspective. And that is what your angle of mastery is all about. Really being able to show people that you're different, that you're unique, that you have a different perspective, that you have a different way of looking at your audience's problem. So the first thing that we really have been focusing on is on determining what my angle of mastery is and how do I present that in a really effective way. That being said, our systems haven't changed. So I didn't increase ad spend. I didn't go viral. I'm trying to go viral. I'm trying to go viral on TikTok, but it's not working. I'm not a TikTok kind of girl. So I didn't, I mean, I'm trying to make it happen. Please make it happen. So I didn't go viral. I didn't have an affiliate launch. I didn't do any type of launch. In fact, I haven't been very active because I spent 2 months traveling and, with my kids, with my family, trying to make a lot of things happen at once. So I haven't been necessarily extremely active, but I have been looking really closely at my systems. How do I make them better? How do I make sure that I can optimize them to speak to the right people? So I haven't re-recorded my webinar either. It's the same one that I've done in the past. However, there are a couple of things that I have made different. And I kind of want to share some of these details with you guys because I think it's really important for you to kind of get that perspective of what we're doing and how this is kind of obviously resulting in us having an 88K week. And these are new sales, by the way. This is not even counting our recurring income and payment plans or anything like that. So first of all, like I mentioned, our angle of mastery, really clarifying, well, what makes you a master in this area? What makes you an expert? And how do I speak to the ready to invest person? I had that down. That is something that I have been doing for a while now and perfecting and getting better at it, but I did not re-record my webinar. I did, however, add more emails to my welcome email sequence where I'm inviting people more to book the call with me. That's basically it. I didn't really change anything else. However, one big change that did happen in my business is that in the last month and a half, instead of somebody else doing, so actually before I jump in, how we do our system is we have an automated webinar where I explain to people how to attract the ready to invest clients, how to attract these people. If you want to watch it, you go to readytoinvestclients.com. That's exactly where you will find it. So you'll find the details there. But I have this webinar, which is around 20-ish minutes long, an instant access training. You don't need to wait until it begins. None of that stuff. You get immediate access to the video, right? And I have this training where I do a great job of revealing my angle of mastery, revealing the cause of my audience's problem, revealing my perspective, my point of view, and showing people why they're not attracting the ready to invest clients and what they need to do to be able to attract these people in their business, right? So I have my training. Now, what we do is that at the end of the training, instead of inviting people to a sales call, an hour-long strategy session, all this stuff, what we do is something that we called a brand message assessment. And you can book that at brandmessagesession.com in case you're interested. So what happens on the brand message assessment is that you and I, it's with me. I do have a couple of slots during the week where Eileen has them, but the majority are with me. I hop on a call with people and I give them very specific personalized feedback on exactly what's going on with their websites, their brand, and their messaging so that they can attract more ready to invest clients, right? So at the end of the webinar, we invite people on the 15-minute call. If at the end of the 15-minute call, I feel like they're a good fit. And I feel like, after asking them a few questions and a different variety of things happen, if it's the right fit, we move them to a sales call. So not everybody hops on a sales call. And mind you, before you hop on the sales call, you have information about pricing, about what the programs are, all the different things. So that's kind of what our process looks like. Now, what's happened is that in the last month and a half, it has been me doing the brand message sessions. Up until now, we had somebody in our team do them, but for one reason or another, I ended up taking over the last month and a half for these calls. And what has happened is that it has really allowed me to personally build a truly powerful connection with the people that I talk to. We've booked around, I feel like on average, about 6 or 7, maybe 8, something like that, of these calls per week. Now, these are 15-minute calls. So it's pretty quick. It's maybe 2-3 hours a week that I dedicate to this. It's not something that's taking away from my schedule or my time or anything like that. But what it's done, it's allowed me to build a really powerful connection with the people that are booking, right? So we have a really great automated webinar that does a great job at speaking to my ready to invest clients and showing them. And again, I'll give you the link again. It's readytoinvestclients.com, showing them how they can attract those ready to invest clients. At the end of the webinar, I invite them to book the brandmessagesession.com, a brand message assessment with me. We hop on the call together, and I give them highly specific feedback on exactly what they need to edit, tweak, change, optimize in their messaging in order to attract more of those ready to invest clients. And at the end of the call, I am inviting those people, the ones that are a good fit, we pre-qualify, we invite them to book the sales call with our team that kind of walks them through the programs, the pricing, all the details. So what's happened in the last month and a half is that because I have been on the front line of these 15-minute calls, I've been able to build stronger connections with the people that I talk to, obviously, and really just show my expertise in a really powerful way and build better connections, right? So that's kind of on the front end, what has been happening and what happened in the last week where we are able to enroll all these people and we made 88K in a week is just the result of that last month and a half of me doing these calls and us optimizing our processes and making that process of the 15-minute call, the follow-up email that goes after that, like what I send them and all these things really powerful. And therefore our sales conversion, I haven't even checked yet. Let me see, but I would imagine, I think that the numbers are pretty crazy high. I'm literally going to check right now as I talk to you guys so that you can get a little bit of an idea. We have about, it's loading right now. So I have the stats in front of me, hopefully. Okay. So we have about a 60% close rate right now this month from sales calls. So that means that 60% of the people that have hopped on the actual sales call with my team have enrolled, have closed, have bought, right? That's an insanely high number, right? Mind you, the month is not over. So a lot more things could happen and will very likely happen. And we're probably going to hit over 100K new sales this month alone, right? But my point is that personalization of me being on the front end has really made a difference. Now, I'm going to tell you the actual real thing that I believe has made the biggest impact and biggest difference in us being able to make 88K in 1 week without launching, without going viral, without increasing ad spend, without even changing our webinars or marketing strategies much, right? And I have really just thought about this a lot. And I keep on remembering this quote from one of the coaches that I worked with in the past. Maybe you guys know her or have heard of her. Maru Yavicella had this quote that said, "You only get what you have the capacity to receive." You only get what you have the capacity to receive. In the last month, a lot of things have changed in my life and in my business. One of which has been making the decision of not doing design anymore. So up until now, I had been doing messaging and I'd also been building websites and designing websites for my clients. And about a month ago, I don't even think it's a month ago, it's been maybe like 3 weeks, I made a decision that I was going to shut down the design part of my business. A lot of my clients came from or for the design part of my business. Obviously, it was like my highest or most expensive package to work with me. And yet I still made the decision that I didn't want to do it anymore because it was locking that capacity for me to receive more, not because of like workload, because I have been really fast and I have great systems in place, but because it wasn't allowing me to step into the thing that I really wanted to do and step into my power and step into my purpose, which is focused more on messaging, on intuition, on kind of like more soul connected message marketing, embodiment, all of these different things, right? And me making that decision of letting go this part of my business, it was like it was dragging me down. And again, I love design. I feel like it's my zone of genius, but it's not my zone of passion, of purpose, of like, this is my thing. This is what I want to do with for the rest of my life. If you would have told me a year ago, 6 months ago, that I was going to say, I'm not going to do any more design work, I would have told you you're insane, right? But I ended up making this decision and doing a lot of the inner work that's necessary for me to be able to expand my capacity to receive. And I think that that's the core. Why we made 88K in 1 week without launching has to do with me expanding my capacity to receive, because I was ready. I have the systems, I have the processes, I have the automation, I have the capacity to hold those clients. I have the capacity to hold the money. I have the capacity to hold the people that are coming through. And that's why something like this happens. If you're here wondering, I don't understand why I'm not making more sales, I don't understand why I'm not attracting more people, I don't understand why things aren't moving along, why I'm stuck, I would invite you to really sit down and analyze how your capacity to receive looks like right now. Like literally, what does your capacity to receive look like? Do you have, if I gave you 10 clients this week, could you hold them? Could you receive them? And if you can't, what can you do to support yourself so that that capacity expands? And that's what we've been working on, right? For the whole last 2 months, it's been, how do we expand our capacity to receive? What systems do I need in place? What support do I need in place? Do I need to hire more people? Do I need to build training videos? Do I need to build workbooks? Do I need to build processes? How do I make this a no-brainer for my clients so that they get better results? But also, how do I make this a no-brainer for me? How do I organize my schedule? How do I organize my days in a way that really allow me to have space and freedom to create, freedom to show up, freedom to do nothing if I want to do nothing? How do I build my life and my business around these things? And the more that you're able to give yourself that support, the more that energetically you're opening your business up and you're opening yourself up to receive that money, that income. So yes, for me, messaging, key, absolutely. But I've already been working in my messaging for the last forever, because this is what I do, right? I keep on going deeper. Also, so it's how do I optimize my existing processes, right? So putting myself in the front line and having these 15-minute assessments with people where I'm evaluating their messaging and I'm giving them a lot of ideas and I'm giving them, support, and I'm giving them insight in terms of what they can do to improve their messaging is extremely powerful. But then on top of all of that, it's expanding my capacity to receive clients and my capacity to receive money and my capacity to step into my own worth by also releasing the things that I really feel were holding me back, releasing the things that were keeping me from stepping into my own full power and really being that embodiment, like, of what I sell and who I am, and becoming that energetic match to the client that I want to attract as well, right? I'm not as active as I was before. I'm not posting 5 times a week, and I'm not uploading daily TikToks, and I'm not going crazy with content creation. I'm only posting when I feel connected, when I feel like a message is coming through that I need to share. And what that does is that it releases me from the need of, I need this to get results, right? And what's happening though instead is that the message that I'm creating and the things that I'm sharing are so powerful and so connected and so specifically talking to my ideal audience. That's exactly who's booking the 15-minute calls. And then at the end of the calls, it's them that's saying, okay, how do I work with you? And then we're inviting them on the sales call, and we're having a 60% close rate so far this month from the people that are booking those sales calls. So this is kind of giving you a little bit of perspective. Again, what I would recommend you to do is go to readytoinvestclients.com to watch the 20-minute mini webinar, training, masterclass, whatever you want to call it, so that you can get an idea of how to attract the ready to invest clients. And if you're interested in having me personally look over your messaging and give you highly specific, and I'm talking like, I literally don't have script. I don't have a script. I have a couple of bullet points of things that I want to remember telling people, but I will go through every single website or the person's website and give them very specific things of like, listen, what you're saying here is speaking to the victim mentality person, the person that's broke. That's why you're attracting that. I literally just hopped off of one of these, like, before coming on this trading, right? And I was telling her, what you're saying here is attracting the wrong person. What you need to be saying is this. You need to be saying that. You need to be tweaking this. You need to be doing that. And that's what we do. And that's at brandmessagesession.com. So that call is with me or with Eileen, depending on the day of the week that you book it for. But Eileen is absolutely amazing at this as well. Mind you, anybody in my team is. And that's it. It's this plus the mindset piece, plus expanding that capacity to receive. Hopefully this is helpful. Let me know in the comments if it resonated, if it made sense, if you're following along with me as well. And I can't wait to see you in another episode. Ciao.